might say. You know how chiral allergies can sometimes trigger goosebumps? It's like that, except a fair bit worse. The tar-like secretions can accelerate the passage of time on contact, it seems.
We suspect she has dooms too.
And that when she's levitating, she's experiencing the nightmares common amongst sufferers.
That space or realm she left behind to come here. The fellow we saw called it Nirvana, I believe. But to me, it looked like the land of the dead.
Even so, she's a living human being, and I believe that she was born in that place. After things settled down, I spoke with her for a little. Or tried to. She was still in shock, which made it harder to communicate.
Did she tell you her name?
Doesn't seem like she has one, as far as I could tell. So, I named her myself. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh?
Sam, it's Charlie. We've recently received a report of brigands engaging in suspicious activity to the west. I'm sure you'd like to push on, but I don't think we can afford to ignore this. Please access the DHB Magellan's delivery terminal to undertake this main order.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Looking clean as a whistle.
Tomorrow, a mysterious young woman from the world of the dead. I hope she makes a swift recovery. I just can't stop thinking about that place. It was filled with the spirits of the dead, a vast number, beyond counting. And the man who attacked us without any explanation. I don't have any idea who he is. Do you? It was a place that belonged to the dead. And while we were trapped there, only a scant few seconds seemed to have passed here. It's like the beach in that regard. Time flows differently there, relative to how it does in our world. Those battlefields you once journeyed to were also pockets of reality outside of ours. But this was different. Perhaps we'll be able to understand it better if we ever get the chance to go there again. Which isn't to say that I want to go back. Ah, yes. I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing to the ground. This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires. It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for. Come to think of it, ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. Apropos of nothing, I'm so glad that we were able to save that kangaroo's life. It's easy to forget that humans aren't the only creatures affected by the Death Stranding. Protecting our remaining wildlife isn't just the right thing to do. It can also help us to better understand how the environment has changed. Ah, yes. The kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object. Sam, are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time. I don't really have anything else to say right now. Before I forget, Sam, it seems you left some cargo behind outside the Northern Environmental Observatory, where the tar bubbled up before we were whisked away to the other side. You remember all that excitement, yes? Anyway, Harman was kind enough to collect your cargo from us. It's been placed in your private locker aboard the DHV Magellan.
Gotta stretch my legs.
Generator. Wouldn't want to be near that if it released its charge.
Feels good.
Glad that you could make it. Checking the order information now. Is this cargo what I think it is? Wow, you're the greatest. We'd like you to have this data for everything you've done. See what you think. We're upping the amount of materials you can take from our stores.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
We've developed a new type of hologrenade that produces fake BTs. Most armed groups are terrified of BTs, so they'll clear out the moment they catch sight of anything resembling one. Mind you, if they happen to get close enough to touch the hologram, they'll quickly figure out it isn't real. So, think carefully about where you deploy them. Come back soon. We'll have more for you.
Order completed. Well done.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
appreciate you coming. Checking the order information now. I certainly wasn't expecting this. What a pleasant surprise.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
All right. I guess this is goodbye then.
Order completed. Well done.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be as...
Sam, we've received an urgent request from the Northern Environmental Observatory. Brigands to the west of the facility have got their hands on a large stockpile of weapons and have taken it back to their base. This happened shortly after the recent tarfall abated. The surrounding area was littered with a massive quantity of cargo that had been washed up by the tar. The brigands wasted no time gathering up everything they could and hauling it back to their encampment. This included weapons and gear unlike any we've seen before. And now we've begun observing new brigand units in the field. These ones are wearing red, reinforced armor, accented with luminescent light strips. As their unique appearance suggests, they're more resistant to damage. Melee and electrical attacks are especially ineffective against them. These units have clearly been outfitted for close quarters combat, and their sudden deployment is troubling to say the least. Their presence likely indicates that the brigands are gearing up for a raid of some sort. And if we ignore this development, the brigands could use their new toys to attack the observatory, and there's no telling what might happen then. So we need to seize all of them before they have a chance to do so. Moreover, the latest data from the observatory strongly suggests an explosion of some sort occurred just beneath the Earth's surface not long ago. APAS analyzed the shockwave and has concluded that it is consistent with the type produced by ground-penetrating ordnance. This leads us to believe that the cargo the brigands secured may have included powerful explosive material. Directly assaulting the brigands using firearms risks triggering these devices, and we cannot predict how that would affect the region. Any sort of catastrophic explosion may also have an adverse impact on the tar currents. It is therefore critical that you avoid combat and secure the cargo without alerting them if possible.
I implore you to take on this main order, Sam. And soon.
Calls for comfort. You've recovered everything then. Great. Let's get it delivered.
appreciated.
Happy holiday.
Whoa, did you really go out and steal all that stuff from the brigands? Way to go, Sam. Let me get started on processing your haul. I can't find a single scratch on any of this stuff. You truly are one of a kind. You have accomplished so much, done things only you could have done. We want you to have this data as thanks. We've increased your allocation of materials. Our way of...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The guidepost data we just shared with you is great for making landmarks to prevent people from getting lost, even at night. And when you do place them, you'll find they're useful not only for getting your bearings, but also for creating routes that will facilitate travel for everyone. Aside from that, we've also made it so you can now use your PCC to fabricate bridges up to 80 meters in length. The rivers ahead of you are prone to flooding, so I imagine extra long bridges will be especially handy. Oh, and Sam, there's actually one other thing I wanted to talk about. Call it a little insight into the cargo you recovered on our behalf. It included a device I believe you guys have taken to calling a chiral jammer. These jammers are capable of disrupting the flow of local tar currents. In addition, you also recovered some explosives modded to be able to penetrate the ground and detonate within the tar. This would destabilize the currents over a large area. Needless to say, both these items could have been used to deliver an enormous blow to the chiral network. In other words, we've really dodged a bullet. But what I'd like to know is why this tech wound up in their hands in the first place. Can't chalk it up to pure chance. Honestly, it's almost like those brigands knew in advance that the tar was hiding cargo. We've got to consider the possibility that someone gave them a heads up. Food for thought on the road ahead.
Excellent work, Sam. You'll be happy to hear that tomorrow's regained consciousness. Once you're back on board the DHV Magellan, you should see for yourself.
Order completed. Well done.
Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes? She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.
Sam, it's Charlie. Be advised that we have a new assignment waiting for you. I'll need to brief you on upcoming objectives as well. Access the delivery terminal at the Northern Environmental Observatory to take on this main order.
Nothing like a warm shower after a hard day's labor. Am I right, Sam? Tomorrow seemed to react negatively to overstimulation. This is likely just a defensive mechanism, so to speak. A way to safeguard her mind from the strange and unfamiliar. At times like these, it's best to limit the number of people attempting to help the distressed individual. So let's trust in Rainey and Fragile to take care of her. You've been receiving more dangerous orders. I respect your willingness to undertake them without any fuss. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for assistance if you ever find yourself in need of it. While I'm incapable of fighting like you, if you throw me toward your enemies, I can keep them distracted for a short while at least. Come to think of it, the Brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design. Significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you.
Sam, by linking up the various sites farther to the north, you'll eventually be able to establish a connection to Hartman's facility. In short, it's time to tackle the northern part of the continent. Start by bringing the F2 South Distribution Center into the network. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knot who managed to escape the city before it was swallowed up by the tar. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also protect the facility from would-be assailants. Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extremely high, leading to disturbing reports of paranormal phenomena near the facility. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid staff in dealing with this issue. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. This cargo has been designated.
Order accepted. Thank you.
You're with Drawbridge, I presume. Yeah, you seem like a genuine article. Welcome. Hope it wasn't too hard to track. I'll just need a moment to check your cargo. How did you manage to get it here without even a single scratch? You must be some kind of miracle worker. You have been making a real difference around here. Keep it up, all right? All right. Go ahead and put us on the Chiral network.
Now displaying your current order grade.
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as well. Feels like we finally turned a corner.
For our part, we've shared data for some custom vehicle components, as well as some sturdy combat boots. I'm sure the vehicle parts in particular will come in handy for combat and cargo retrieval. You need all the help you can get, because those armed survivalists waiting for you out east are far more dangerous foes than the brigands. They're a bunch of fools who won't hesitate to kill people, with no shortage of lethal weaponry. Though I'll be damned if I know where they got it. Make sure you're prepared before you head their way. Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious power to your kicks. You might want to equip a pair if you intend on getting up close and personal.
Thanks again. We're glad to have you in our corner. With your support, we'll be able to do so much more for others. Stay strong and keep doing your thing. We're in this fight together.
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back to the DHV Magellan and take a load off. Just so you know, tomorrow's been doing much better. Pay her a visit when you can, okay?
Order completed. Well done.